What up, chat? What up, people? Your boy Mustard is back. We got another stream for y'all, episode 3. I told you I'm not stopping with these streams. I'm gonna keep going. It's gonna be like a every other day kind of thing, as much as I can, possibly. Um, I know my consistency with content is all over the place at times, but trust me, we're gonna be locked in for this. But we got a couple of things to talk about. I'm pulling up my notes here. We got a good amount of things to talk about, and some things I seen some people post that I want to react to. Tony Allen said some more shit that we can talk about. While you guys are in the comments, I want y'all guys to, if y'all know or not, do y'all want me to react to like the whole thing? Because apparently Tony Allen did like a whole response or reaction to the whole top 50 list. So we could react to that whole thing if y'all want. But y'all let me know if y'all want to see that, because it's up to y'all. But let's start things off with the title of this stream, and that is Caitlin Clark, man. I'm not gonna lie, Caitlin Clark to me is starting to show herself. As far as I've heard a lot of things about Caitlin Clark and a lot of people like comment about her, and I've always been not like defensive of her or anything, because I'm not like a sicko, but I've always been hesitant to critique her because I've always felt like she was kind of in an unfair scenario as far as how people looked at her, right? She was seen as, by no fault of her own, like this white savior of the WNBA. Meanwhile, you have all these black women who have really put on for the WNBA. You know, Cheryl Swoops, Candace Parker, Maya Moore. Shout out Maya Moore. I'm telling y'all, Maya Moore was the best basketball player I've ever seen in WNBA history, in women's basketball history, the greatest winner in women's basketball history. And now A'ja Wilson has, climbed those ranks. But my point is, A'ja Wilson, throw her in there. It felt like all these black women who helped build up the WNBA, a lot of them felt jaded when Caitlin Clark came into the league. And I did think for a period of time it was unfair criticism and unfair hate that was shown towards Caitlin Clark. But to the point, actually, I'll even add on to that, to the point that I remember when LeBron, I think he hyped up a game, just a game from Caitlin Clark. He got all this hate from all these women sitting there saying he's picked a side, stay on that side. And I'm like, nigga, he can't be hyped about Caitlin Clark's game. You feel me? Like, it was getting crazy, the shit people were saying and the way people were moving. If you were a fan of Caitlin Clark, or if you weren't a super fan of Caitlin Clark, you didn't even have to be a fan. If you didn't suck Caitlin Clark off, you were deemed as a racist by white people. And if you were a fan of Caitlin Clark, some black people thought you were a sellout. The Rookie of the Year race was one of the most, just, I don't want to say ridiculous. It was just nonsensical. Because you got these people that are mixing in how popular someone is and the viewership compared to like how good did they play. And anyone with an objective mind knows that Caitlin Clark's rookie year was better than Angel Reese's. Despite injury that Angel faced, even if she finished it off, she was not a better rookie than Caitlin Clark was. And that's not to denounce Angel Reese, because Angel Reese was a great rookie in her own right? No pun intended. But I saw something recently that made me want to talk about Caitlin Clark and title this video what it is. And it's going to lead into some other things that I wanted us to talk about. And to everybody in here, we got about 25 people in here. Appreciate you guys for being up in here. We are going to, later on in this stream, we're going to rank the top 10 point guards in the NBA. We're going to do that. So stay tuned for that. We will get to that later on in this stream. But so I seen this video, and this is what really inspired me to make this stream and title it the way I titled it. But Elle Duncan, I don't know where she was talking about it, but she talked about the Caitlin Clark controversy, and I wanted to see, I want to kind of respond to it and have my own opinion because I actually found what she said very interesting.
I'd love for it to be very clear to the people who think they are her fans but are using her if she would say, stop that shit, I don't want it. I'm tired of it. As opposed to what we've seen, which is the media makes up these narratives. The media makes up this discourse. That's not true. The media highlights the stories and they show it, but at the same time, like, the media did not make up that members of Congress are trying to get literal government intervention into whether you get fouled too hard. Like, this stuff has to stop. It's not going anywhere. So unfortunately, we're now trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. And I don't think there's an easy solution to it. I really don't. And I don't have all the answers. I certainly don't. I just know that whatever's happening right now is not working. And I would love for Caitlin's team to go back to the drawing board and say, again, as much as we would love to live in a world where you get to just play basketball and be a great person and a great leader, and she's all of those things, as much as we would love for you to be able to just focus on that, just like the players against her would love to be able to not wonder if they hard foul her, whether they're going to be called names or have death threats against them. We would love that to be your reality. It's unfortunately not your reality right now. So let's try to figure out how we can get you to that reality where you get to just focus on this.
Okay. So you guys see her point. You guys see what she said pretty much. She said some other things, but I wanted to touch on that because I want to just say, I think there's a reason why Caitlin Clark is not as beloved by everybody in the WNBA fandom as a lot of her fans might think she should be. And there's a multitude of different reasons, but I would say one of the biggest reasons, and it's kind of the separator between how she's viewed versus how someone like Paige is viewed, and that's why you can't say it's just a race thing. Caitlin Clark doesn't go out of her way to really ingratiate herself with some of this demographic that is the WNBA fans, because WNBA players catch so much hell, whether it's homophobia, as a lot of them are LGBT, sexism, obviously they're women, and racism, as a lot of them are black women. And Caitlin Clark, a lot of her fans, because she and Angel Reese, to both of their credit, they brought in a surge of new fans and this new wave of popularity to the WNBA. Not saying the WNBA wasn't popular before they came in, or it wasn't doing decent before it came in, but those two, let's be honest, they brought a new set of eyeballs to the product because of what they did in college basketball, along with other players as well. But those are the main figures in that draft class. But because she has such a strong fan base and she's so popular, and a lot of people that support her that may not even be her friends, that's the weird, not friends, may not even be her fans. I'm sorry, I think it said the chat disconnected. I don't know what's going on. Okay, it's back. It's back on. But let me get back to what I was saying. But because she has so many fans, I feel like she should take it upon herself to understand that when she's asked about racism or asked about the hate that other players get, whether it's players that foul her or players that, you know, she just got like a little beast with, hell, even something as simple as Angel Reese. Like, for example, when they were in college and Angel Reese did the you can't see me thing to her, they asked Caitlin Clark about it, and Caitlin Clark was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. She shouldn't be receiving this level of hate. It's trash talk. That was basically what she did. And I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark has never spoke out against these things, but anytime they've asked her about it, she has never like fully denounced racism. She's never really done that. She's dismissed it and kind of like belittled it because, in my opinion, I feel like she knows a lot of her base is these people and she doesn't want to upset this base, as opposed to somebody like Sophia Cunningham, who clearly doesn't care, clearly knows that her base is filled with plenty of racists, as she's a role player with the fucking shoe deal, which is just insane. She knows her base is what it is and she don't care. It's almost easier to respect something like that versus somebody who acts like it doesn't exist and refuses to really acknowledge it. And it kind of really shows a lot of racial insensitivity. Because if you're Caitlin Clark, there's no way you can tell me you don't know that Barstool called Angel Reese a piece of shit. There's no way you can tell me you don't know that every time somebody fouls you and you flare your arms and you complain to the refs, you don't know that there's going to be some fucking accounts that come up here and say, hey man, they're trying to attack her because she's white. These thugs, these ghetto ass women. Don't act like you don't know that. Don't act like you didn't know that you got an invite to the White House as a part of the losing team because of white privilege that befell upon you that wouldn't have been given to LSU had they lost the championship game. Like, she knows about a lot of the privilege she has and how she's viewed in these conversations amongst these circles, inside of sports and outside of sports. And it's almost, I don't want to say insensitive. Well, I guess in a way it is insensitive to act like it doesn't exist. Someone said they didn't know Barstool said that. I'm not tripping. Barstool called her a piece of shit. They called her that. And someone said Caitlin has denounced it at least on 2 occasions. I knew y'all were going to say that, which is why I got it pulled up. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean, because I'm not saying that she's never said, oh, this stuff is wrong, it's not okay. She needs to be vehemently against it. Either you completely denounce racism or you don't. There's no middle ground to, oh, well, you know, they're just troll. No. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean. I'm going to show you guys what I mean, because I feel like a lot of times y'all be letting a lot of people who aren't black get away with doing the bare minimum when it comes to these things. And that shit it's a little weird to me, in my personal opinion. It's weird. Y'all be letting niggas slide on that shit. Pause. Heavy pause. I'm sorry. That was kind of crazy. Here it is right here. So y'all can see what I'm talking about.
There's trolls online, all those things.
A little bit and really drive you throughout the off season.
Go down the line, James and Chloe.
Caitlin, when your head coach came out with a statement today saying she announces all the racism that some people have felt in this league, players, trolls online, all those things, as one of the biggest stars in this league, what are your thoughts on the things not only your teammates have to endure, but just the entire league? And obviously, you spoke on this before, but just now that your coach and your GM are talking about it as well.
Okay, so this is around that time where there were a lot of reports that Caitlin Clark, her fans at the Fever game were saying a lot of bullshit towards the Sky when Angel Reese came into play. And they're specifically asking her about, what's up, Kels? I'm so sorry, y'all. Kelsey's so annoying. Kels, can you stop doing all that? She's doing the most, y'all. I'm sorry. Like I was saying, they asked her about the racism that her fans, that was alleged the Fever fans were throwing out there. So let's see what she has to say, because I'll show y'all what she says and some other quotes later in the article and what her coach said, and you'll see the difference of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats. Those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization, the WNBA. But there are a lot of really good fans, whether they've been fans for 20 plus years or whether they're new fans in our league. I think continuing to uplift this league in a very positive light is the best thing that we can do, because there are so many great players, there's so many great teams, there are so many positive storylines that can be written and celebrated. And for me, that's why I became a fan of this league, is these people were my idols. I grew up wanting to be like them. So I think continuing to uplift and represent this league in a positive way is the best thing that we can do.
Go Chloe, then Christine.
Yeah, just with all the success you have this season, just what do you think you need to work on to take that next step going into your second year next year?
Yeah, I think, like I said after we lost, is, I think there's so many ways that I can continue to get better, and
All right. So y'all see what I'm saying. I'm sorry, y'all. I got distracted. I apologize. But this is what I'm talking about here. Because they specifically ask you about the racism from fans and things of that nature. She danced around that question. And I don't understand how you guys think just because someone says, yeah, nobody should face racism, that's not answering the question. It's your response. And how do you feel about the racist attacks from a lot of people that do claim to be your fans and do claim to be fans of the Fever? And I see some motherfuckers in the comments making excuses. Somebody sat there and said LeBron don't address his racist post using her name. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Someone else said it's the same dude. It must be a Caitlin Clark nut hugger or some shit, saying the investigation in the Chicago and Indiana revealed nothing. This was before that investigation was even completed. And on top of that, a lot of times, how would they even come to a lot of those conclusions if it's just hearsay? So I don't even understand what the fuck he's talking about. And then, or she, whoever that is in the comments is talking about. And then on top of that, you also got to consider that for her to say they're trolls, no, like that's minimizing. It's minimizing. Because when you sit there and say someone is a troll, you're almost reducing it as, it's just rage bait. No, it's not just rage bait. Yes. Can racism be rage bait? Of course, it can be a tool of rage bait, can be racism, vice versa, whatever. But it's minimizing when you just say they're trolls. And I'll show you what the difference between actually denouncing what's happening versus dancing around the question to give a PR answer is. I'll show you guys right now what the difference is. I got an article right here. This is what the difference looks like. So here's an article around this time, right? They were talking about, I think this was right after they faced the Mercury or something like that. Yeah, they were fuming after a ref didn't call a foul on Alyssa Thomas at the end of the game. So simple fouls. And this is another thing about her fans that they do. Anytime she gets fouled, they think like it's the end of the world. They don't know what hard fouls are. They don't know what intentional fouls are. They think that just because she drives to the lane, she's supposed to get a free fucking layup. It's insane. A lot of these people don't watch basketball. They're just here to argue and be mad because they want to dick ride her and slobber her. That's all it is. But let's keep going. So they asked Caitlin about it, and she says the same monotone answer, right? She says, I think, what did she say? Harassment, hate is never okay. That goes, let me actually zoom in. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me zoom in for y'all. Harassment, hate, none of that is okay. That goes for the opposing teams we play. That goes for my teammates. That goes for my coaches, Clark said. There should never be a question of character. Like I've always stood up here and said that, and I truly believe, and that's truly what I believe. That's how I was raised. So none of that is okay. And I don't want anyone to experience that. Very typical, I'm not going to rock the boat kind of thing. Just going to say the basic racism ain't okay. Right? Then you look at what they coach Stephanie White said. I think for the league as a whole, there's been so much toxicity, racism, homophobia, straight up hateful nonsense, and it's absolutely unacceptable. Most of it is coming from the online community. In my heart of hearts, I believe most of it is not coming from WNBA fans or Indiana Fever fans. Right? And of course, she's going to try to separate racist motherfuckers, homophobic motherfuckers, all that sexist motherfuckers from their fan base or the WNBA fan base. And that's fine. I don't have an issue with you trying to separate racist motherfuckers from fans, like true fans. Because if you offend the sport, you're not going to do what a lot of these racist people are doing. So I understand that point. But Caitlin Clark doesn't do that. And then she even addresses it. She said, it can be really frustrating at times and it's difficult, Clark said. A lot of people sometimes think I'm a robot, which is why I titled it what I titled it, because I read this article. I have emotions, I have feelings, and it can be really difficult to go through that a lot. I'm 24 years old. I'm trying to navigate a lot. There are times that it's hard, and there are times that, it probably affects me a little bit more than I do put on. So that's kind of a part of my issue with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, someone said, talk about basketball, leave your racist shit out of it. I don't know if he's talking about me. How many times? She doesn't really denounce it. And that's my point. Her coach straight up says, this is racism, it's homophobia, it's sexism, and there's no place for that. These are toxic, nasty fans. These are not our fans. These are not true WNBA fans. That's denouncing. Her saying, yeah, nobody should go through racism. These aren't fans. These are trolls. Nigga, that's not denouncing. You are belittling what's actually happening, because she's held to, in my opinion, she's going to be held to a higher standard, whether fair or not, to denounce these things to the best of her ability, because her fans, it ain't just like, because mind you, their coach don't got hella fans. Like, it ain't like, a lot of these women got hella fans. It's her that has the most fans. And that's the wild thing that a lot of you niggas will make excuses for her saying. A lot of y'all will sit there and say she brought eyes to the product, but a lot of those eyes are saying racist shit. She should be able to denounce that to the best of her ability. And if she just came out and did that, I think that's a real reason why she's not embraced like a lot of motherfuckers like Paige Beckers are. Because it ain't just a race thing. You can't tell me it's because she's a white girl. Paige is a white girl. She denounces that shit at every turn. And why do y'all feel like because somebody get asked one time, that means like if they denounce it one time, that means it's over. They don't got to denounce it ever again. Nigga, so racism should just be denounced once and we move on. No, that's not how that works. That is not how that works. You denounce that shit every time because it's never okay, especially considering it's your fans. Like, I'd rather a motherfucker be like, what's her name? Sophia Cunningham. That, I don't want to say nothing disrespectful, but I hate when I see that girl on my damn timeline. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. So yes, you denounce that shit. You don't tap dance around the answer. You don't give us these basic ass answers. Because I promise you, we go pull up what Paige be saying whenever she's asked or talked about it. And there's a reason she don't even get asked that often about it. Because let's be real. We know what her position is. She's clarified it a bunch of times. We know what's up. And then on top of that, she out here going to like Morgan Wallen concerts. Come on now. So let's not be stupid here. Let's not be stupid. And to all you Caitlin Clark nut huggers in the comments, I don't care. I'm seeing motherfuckers crying. Motherfuckers saying I'm being pathetic. I don't care. You niggas can cry all y'all want. This ain't, the Young Mustard channel or anything where I'm just going to sit here and talk about basketball. Like, nigga, this is a pod where I'm going to sit there and talk about any and everything, which leads into the next thing I want to talk about, which is this Nolan Wells controversy. Because I'm actually like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, nothing that a lot of these racist white people do really surprise me. But sometimes I just see what they do and I just shake my head because it's like, you niggas never failed to one up yourselves in the racism and the stupidity that y'all put out there. So for those who don't know, Nolan Wells went out with a whole bunch of like his white friends and stuff. They went to some island. I don't know if this was like a summer thing, I guess, some summer vacation. And I don't know all the details. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but they came back and somebody said a lot of people in the chat were a part of the No Child Left Behind shit. Someone said, look at what black athletes and other black celebrities going with Morgan Wallen. Brother, I don't care. Lil Durk, Drake, you think I don't look at them sideways for being on stage with that racist ass motherfucker Morgan Wallen? It doesn't change just because black people do it. I promise you, I don't care. Kendrick Lamar, one of my favorite artists. If Kendrick walk up on stage with Morgan Wallen, I promise you I'll hold him accountable the exact same way. And mind you, I ain't even saying Caitlin Clark is racist. I just think Caitlin Clark is racially insensitive like a lot of white people are. There's a difference between being racist and racially insensitive. You don't have to be a racist, but to be racially insensitive. And that's what I think Caitlin Clark is. She can be racially insensitive. I promise you, like, it don't change just because Drake went on stage with Morgan Wallen or Lil Durk said, oh, he ain't used the N-word correctly. I promise you, those rules don't change. They still get the exact same criticism. But let's move on to Nolan Wells. Man, my goodness. Is it Nolan Wells? You guys correct me. Let me see. Yes, Nolan Wells. I know I'm not wrong. So Nolan Wells and a couple of his friends went out to an island. A couple of his white friends. I had to specify that, of course. They went to an island for vacation. And unfortunately, Nolan Wells passed away. And there was a lot of doubts within his... What do you call it? I'm not even going to spend too much time on this because it really isn't like... I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal. It's obviously a big deal. It's a big story. But it should be one of those things that, like, we all agree on, we all understand is wrong and it's fucked up, and how it's being handled, talked about. It's just a whole bunch of just insane behavior. But Nolan Wells went to this island with his friends. He was the only one that didn't make it back, right? And they said because he was talking to some girl and they left him on the island, but obviously he was found dead. And now more information is coming out. As soon as they got back from the island and Nolan was dead and it became public knowledge, they all privated their social media. They all went to get lawyered up immediately. And then on top of that, you know, more information came out. TMZ started leaking the phone call that they made to the police. And in the background, you could hear things happening, like them crying for Nolan, saying, wake up, asking if he's dead. But meanwhile, they told the police that Nolan stayed on the island with that girl. Right. And that girl has even come out and said, hey, I don't remember him staying to talk to me. I left, or some shit like that. So a lot of contradicting stories. And essentially people have been asking them to get to the bottom of it because the DA has been trying to cover it up. The DA has been trying to make, or at least it's assuming it's looking like the DA has been trying to mess it up. And, you know, I've always said, you know, I'll never go out there on a vacation with a whole bunch of white people and not one black person there. I ain't gonna do that shit. I'm telling you, that shit's gonna make me uncomfortable. We gotta spend the night on an island, and I'm gonna do that with all white people, not a single nigga, not a single black person that I know. Nigga, y'all tripping, y'all out of y'all goddamn mind. And I hope this serves, and this is no shot at Nolan Wells, RIP, but I hope this serves as a lesson to all these brothers and women out there. Do not go to these places alone with white people. Do not do that shit. I'm telling y'all, do not go to these places alone with them. Y'all be thinking these niggas are your friends. They're not your friends. They're not your buddy. They're not your pal. A lot of times, it really just takes until like shit really gets serious for you to see who's your friend. And I don't even have to say that because everybody should know that. If you're older, you should know that. Someone said a second autopsy showed that his throat was missing. That's insane. But, you know, until more and more info come out, I ain't gonna really go in on the entire situation like that, but I wanted to bring that up because I did see this over here. Let me show y'all. This shit was crazy what they doing to this lady, because imagine like you're the parent and you come out and you just have questions about how your son passed away, but you're seeing motherfuckers online. I'm seeing, I forgot it. I think it's like Benjamin Tatum, that fucking clown ass motherfucker who cried for Charlie Kirk, that black dude, a sellout. I don't want to say the other word, but he a sellout. He's a bum. He's a loser. He's a coward. Out here saying that the mom is a liar. Out here questioning the mom's validity. Out here saying, you seen these white people also out here saying the mom shouldn't even question how her son was the only one who died. Do y'all hear yourselves? Could y'all imagine if it was the other way around and it was a whole bunch of black kids that went with, I don't know, Mark Wells, some white dude, and he was the only one that came up missing? Nigga, there would be a 24 to 48 hour investigation and immediately all of those black people would be hit with charges, especially if there was some inconsistencies in their damn story. And there's a phone call we can find of them saying some shit in the background. The fuck are we talking about? Come on now. But on top of that, now people are then going to his mom's page, like, because I believe they said, what is she? She's like a pediatrician or some shit. A nurse practitioner. And they drop in hate comments. Like purposeful bad reviews on her shit. Why? Why do y'all have to go this far? And you know, it'd be one thing if we're talking about like this boy, like straight up just like attacked these kids or some shit. Like this was just a bad dude. He committed crimes, some shit. And that's still wrong, but this is his mom. What y'all shitting on his mom for? What y'all shitting on his mom for? What did she do wrong? All she wants to know is what happened to her son. And, you know, racism don't make sense. And that's the thing about it. A lot of people say, oh, how could people go this far? Racism don't gotta make sense. You don't have to understand what's happening. It's just happening. It's that simple. But appreciate you guys for being up in here. We got about 20 people up in here. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to just announce again, we are going to do a ranking of the top point guards in the league. I don't know if I'll do top 10. I'll probably do all the point guards in the NBA. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be the last topic of this stream. But let's move on to some WWE shit, y'all. Let's move on to some WWE shit. I know a lot of you guys probably been waiting for me to get into some non political, social stuff. So yeah, we're going to get into some WWE shit because, man, when I tell y'all Triple H is just, he's starting to piss me off, y'all. I ain't going to hold y'all. I am not going to hold y'all. Triple H is starting to piss me off. Let me show y'all something this motherfucker did, bro. Triple H had a quote recently. And here it is right here. I'm going to show you guys. Because sometimes I feel like maybe I'm the bad guy. Like maybe I'm tripping about how I look at WWE and how I look at wrestling as a whole. But let me show y'all this shit. Look at this. This nigga Triple H said, I wish sometimes we could put that passion, or let me rephrase. Let me start it over. So they asked Triple H about the fans and I guess him wishing the fans would put their passion into the talent rather than blame the writers. So here's the overall quote. I wish sometimes we could put that passion into talent now, as opposed to when somebody gets heat in our business, it's like, God, why would they write it that way? As opposed to that no good piece of crap did this. There's something to say that innocence of not knowing, and it's still being real to me, damn it. But it is what it is. I love that. I love the hate. I love the love. It's all passion for what we do. I can't stand that nigga, man. What the fuck is Triple H talking about? Look, I'll say this. Yes, I would love for heels to come out there and get the real heel heat that they should. But Triple H, are you not the one on Unreal? Are y'all not the ones that are, you know, removing the curtain and letting us see the writers and letting us see all these people that, you know, are talking about, hey, Chelsea Green. I think it was Michael Hayes, or who was it? It might have been Michael Hayes. I can't remember who specifically it was. But one of these writers was talking about Chelsea Green is not a main eventer. They can't see her winning a championship and being a main eventer. Or what about how you all had a clear and good choice to win the Royal Rumble, and it just took one writer to say, what about Jey Uso, for y'all to flip and then give us one of the worst WrestleMania builds that we've seen over the last 3 to 4 years for WrestleMania 41, all because of one fucking mistake. Because you listen to one writer say, give Jey Uso the Royal Rumble win instead of John Cena, or instead of CM Punk, or instead of Roman Reigns or whoever, but you pick Jey Uso. Are you not the motherfuckers in the writing room putting on Unreal? And that's the problem with Triple H. Triple H is one of those guys that wants to get all the credit, none of the blame, and then he puts his face everywhere. To the point that now the heat that's supposed to be on the wrestlers for things that people don't like on TV is going on you. And to be fair, Vince was booking bad shit too. But you want to know the difference between Vince and Hunter? Vince wasn't on TV so often. or he wasn't as out in the public so often like Triple H is. Every 2 days, Triple H is doing an interview. Where every couple weeks you see Triple H on TV, whether it's in backstage segments, a gorilla, or he'll be in the ring like he was on Raw to be the moderator of Oba and Brock Lesnar's weigh-in. By the way, what was that for? Nigga was just in the camera shot just to be in the camera shot. Why was he there? No reason. Or how about the fact that at the end of these shows, your name is one of the last things that we see, right? They'll put executive producer Lee Feeding, Paul Levesque. You plaster your name and your face everywhere. You and these writers on Unreal are literally exposed. And now it's showing the world all the bad decisions and how y'all come to it. You're doing that to yourself. You're taking away the heat that guys like Gunther's supposed to get by beating John Cena and tapping him out, whether you agree with the decision or not. Gunther, obviously, he got some heat. But guess where a lot of that heat went? To Triple H when he went out there on his own volition to go and comfort John Cena in the ring and show him the video package. And he ruined that moment. He ruined that moment. Because what were the fans saying? You fucked up. Fuck you, Hunter. All that shit the fans were chanting. He took the heat that was supposed to be on Gunther away from him because all he does is expose himself and put himself in front of the cameras, because just like when he was wrestling and just like when he was just now, being the head writer and head of creative, it doesn't matter what position Triple H is in. Let me rephrase, because I'm getting a little heated and I'm sorry, you guys. But it doesn't matter what position Triple H is in. He's always going to have a very, very healthy and strong ego. And he's always going to try to stroke it in any way, shape, or form. So when you have somebody like that in those positions that wants to be on TV, basically this nigga thinks he's Dana White. He wants to be Dana White so damn bad. And because he's like that, then guess what's going to happen? The fans, when you give them a great show, yeah, you're going to go out there and get thank you, Hunter chants. But when you give them consistently bad TV and garbage writing over and over and over again, like us getting a Danhausen and Joe Hendry guitar concert, are you fucking kidding me? The Go Home Raw for SummerSlam, you're giving us that shit? And then you're going to sit here and complain. You're going to sit here and say, why aren't they giving the wrestlers the heat? Why aren't they booing Joe Hendry and Danhausen or Dom? No, nigga, we're going to boo you every single time you pop up on our TV because you giving us this garbage ass TV, nigga. It's that simple. My God, it's like these niggas lack critical thinking skills on something that you should be a pro at, Hunter. You should be a pro at this shit, but you lack critical. I don't know how niggas can rewatch Unreal. And mind you, they're only showing us what they want us to see. Could you imagine what we're not seeing? That shit is crazy to me. That shit is crazy to me. I ain't gonna lie. That shit is nuts. That shit is nuts, man. But let's move on, man. I ain't got I ain't got enough energy for this nigga. I do not have enough energy for Triple H and this bald fraud. I don't got enough energy for him. Whew. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to drink some water. I need to drink some water. Woo! I'm sorry, y'all. I know I shouldn't apologize, but I'm so over this guy. I'm so over him and how he acts all high and mighty upon his little fucking King of Kings throne. And he acts like he can't be criticized. He acts like he shouldn't be, talked in a negative light about. And you notice he never had all these quotes after WrestleMania 39. He ain't have none of these quotes after WrestleMania 40 or after John Cena turned heel. He thinks he's this creative genius because everybody gassed him up for this bloodline story that he ain't even start. But he finished it great. Congrats. But now he want none of the criticism When you seeing the downfall of motherfuckers like Dominic Mysterio or Braun Breaker being the valet to Maxine Dupree and Austin Theory. He don't want none of the criticism for how motherfuckers like Carmelo Hayes are left off of WrestleMania and SummerSlam, where there's an active feud he should be involved with Trick Williams that goes all the way back to NXT. He don't want no criticism for Ilya Dragunov being thrown out the Royal Rumble like a jobber and him being off TV ever since. He don't want no criticism for the fact that Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, the whole bloodline story is still going on in 2026 of damn near August. The bloodline started in 2020. It's almost August 2026. And we're still doing, acknowledge me. We're still doing tribal combat. If you lose, you gotta acknowledge me as your tribal chief. We're still doing that. We're still doing that. Obafemi won King of the Ring and gave up his championship opportunity. And he did that so we could get Oba versus Brock Part 3. Cool. But we now have to get Roman versus Seth again? He gave up that shit for that? So you can keep pushing the old niggas over and over and over. Oh, God, bruh. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Sometimes the jokes just write themselves. The jokes just write themselves. Truly, they write themselves. So, Usher. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this. Usher. For those who don't know, Usher's on tour right now with Chris Brown. And I'm not going to hold y'all, man. I was actually thinking about going to the Usher tour with Chris Brown, but I decided to change my mind because I refuse to take Kelsey anywhere that Chris Brown is at. I've been seeing this nigga Chris Brown been like coming down from the ceilings and shit. He's ziplining and shit into like the back. So the niggas in the cheap seats in heaven with God, he out here even like singing with the girlies, getting lap dances and shit. They throwing ass on this nigga all the way back there. It ain't even just the front row seat women. So nobody's safe. None of these women is safe. So I told Kelsey, I was like, hey, we not going to no Chris Brown show. We ain't going to no Usher shit. But she pregnant now. So I mean, hey, Chris, if you want to do some nasty shit with a pregnant woman, come on, my nigga. We better than that. I hold you to a little bit of a higher standard. And I even seen he even coming out and saying, hey, if you got a man, don't come up on stage. He said that shit. So, hey, salute to that nigga for that. But back to Usher. So Usher got a little situation, right, where he coming on stage. And I don't know if it's because he got the herpy lips or what. But he brought a lady up on stage. And I kid you not, she curved him. Let's see. Let's watch it ourselves, y'all. So you can see he feeling her. He kind of go on her neck. And yeah, you could tell she not feeling. Want to be on the stage, huh? Maybe she's like, nigga, save them lips for Puff. Don't put that shit on me. But yeah, she wasn't feeling it. And then, you know, I guess they found her with like a quote. She said, I went to the concert for Chris Brown. There's nothing against Usher, but I'm more of a Chris Brown fan than I am Usher. So of course I would have had a different reaction it would have been a different reaction with Chris Brown. I just don't get why she agreed to go up there. I don't know if the context of it is someone said good for him for picking up on signs. Of course. I mean, what was he going to do? Sexually assault that girl in front of thousands of people in the crowd on camera? Come on now. And I'm not saying Usher would do that off camera. I'm just saying, glad. And yeah, shout out to him for doing that. But my point is, at the end of the day, you know, I just don't know why she even went up there. I've been said, brothers, we got to come together and stop bringing our women to Chris Brown concerts and Usher concerts. I refuse to see Chris Brown getting grinded on by another nigga's baby mama or another nigga's girlfriend or another nigga's wife, or seeing Usher play with cherries down another nigga girlfriend's wife. Oh, excuse me, my bad. seeing Usher play with cherries down another nigga girlfriend throat. We need to come together as a coalition of brothers and put an end to this, because it ain't Chris Brown's fault. It ain't Usher's fault. It's our fault for bringing them to these shows, and their fault, of course, for even making these decisions. Because sometimes you can lead a motherfucker to the river, but you can't make that motherfucker drink. So I feel y'all. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it though. I mean, it's all self-explanatory. Nothing really even happened. Him getting curved, it is what it is. Usher, he'll be all right. Puff will be home soon too, so. Let me chill out. Let me stop. But Tony Allen had some more quotes today, and I wanted to kind of go over that too. I think it was really interesting. He talked about a lot of things actually. And let's pull it up. Let's pull it up here. So let's talk about what Tony Allen said about LeBron. He had a couple of other quotes about him. Let's pull it up.
Too late.
Shout out the mud, man. Make sure y'all tune in, man, every Friday. We vote, man. We work.
What do you think about the people that said that you took it personal because he did clamp your boy Paul Pierce too?
Paul gave him 50 one day in my face, though. I saw P give him 50.
You know, it's interesting he says that, right? Paul Pierce gave him 50. And I know what series he's talking about. I think that was 2008 or 2010. It was one of those years. You go to that series in 2008, or maybe it was 2010. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Let's find it. Yeah, this series. I think it was this series. Look at what Paul Pierce averaged throughout the entire series. 19 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 40% from the field, 33% from 3. True shooting percentage of 53%. So it ain't just about Paul Pierce in one game giving LeBron 50. In every single game, LeBron, except for game 1, outscored pretty much everybody on that Boston team. And in the closeout game that Paul Pierce was cooking, I think that was the game Paul Pierce gave him 50. He didn't even give him 50. He gave him 41. I don't know. Maybe he's talking about a different game. And this is the game where LeBron and Paul Pierce had that epic duel. Not duo. Duel. But in that series, Paul Pierce was not hooping. He was not hooping. So I don't know why Tony's focusing on one game when in the entire series, Paul Pierce wasn't playing well. And that's why he got locked up. Or excuse me, it's because he got locked up. But let's keep going, y'all.
Fuck is you talking about? I saw P get 50. I'm telling you. No, y'all. But see, it's funny how y'all laughing. I'm not even trying to. This actually happened, bro. Well, it probably wasn't 50. It was like 40 something. But you put barbecue sauce.
I'm glad he corrected that.
Look, Killer, listen, Killer. Y'all not listening.
Hey, we would play the clips, but it's been scrubbed off the internet.
Listen, I literally saw.
Oh my God.
LeBron them and the Cleveland Cavaliers at the time. I think they had Antoine Jameson. I dunked on Jameson that day too in that series. But they had Delonte. Well, they had a team, and he left. He took his jersey off and left.
I ain't gonna lie. Putting up him averaging 8.5 points per game on the screen is crazy. That's actually nuts. That's the
ball. That's the Michael Beasley one. Keep going.
Oh, there you go.
Tony Allen averaged
8.5 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 2 steals in 13 games versus Michael Beasley. There you go.
Okay.
Michael Beasley averaged 10.5, and he lost every one of them. Stamp that.
So,
Yeah.
back to the Paul Pierce thing.
I don't know what he talking about out the mud. He talking about out the mud. What's wrong with him? He just, man, Brian ain't finna pick you up in Philly.
He said he ain't finna pick you up.
I played on this team. He should be on my side.
TBT?
Then he just on my
Big 3 team.
He talking about out the mud. Dude, I ran across dude, but I'm just saying I seen him too much in my career, and I watched him. You know what I'm saying? I had to study.
And we're not. And look, we're not trying to act like he.
What What the fuck did that nigga just say? That dude in the background? I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Like you devalued his career. This is a very specific ranking of the best defenders in NBA history.
Yeah, his ass should have been number 25. And I should have been, I mean, what it was, 22. He should have been
23.
And I wouldn't have said nothing.
Okay, so this is just because LeBron was higher than him on the list. That's all it is. I think Tony's just looking at it from the perspective like, look, man, like, he guarded the best players. His job was to play defense. LeBron could take plays off because he had to conserve himself offensively. But I think the issue that people have, Tony, is that you sat there and diminished how good of an overall defender he was. And even if that wasn't your intent, like, the list is about the best defenders of all time, right? So when you sit there and say he's known for the chase down block, he ain't have to actually guard nobody. You know, you were the hunted. You just straight up said things that were factually incorrect, Tony. But it's clear he was just, like I said, he was upset because LeBron was higher than him on the list. And he clearly values more on-ball defense. Because, for example, I'll give y'all somebody who's not a great on-ball defender. In his prime, he was good, though. He was a good on-ball defender. Giannis. Giannis was a real good on-ball defender. He wasn't great. I wouldn't say he's like Bam Adebayo on the perimeter or anything like that. But he was a good on-ball defender back in 2019, 2020. 2021 even. But his real value wasn't on-ball defense because he wasn't going to go out there and do what Anthony Davis did on the ball or Bam did on the ball. No, he was going to go out there and be a secondary rim protector. He was going to go out there and be the best help defender in basketball. That was what Giannis's value was. And LeBron provided that same exact kind of value. That same exact kind of value as a secondary rim protector to aid guys like Chris Bosh, who struggle with size and could often be bullied by a Roy Hibbert or a Tim Duncan or a Dirk in an era where the big man position was relatively weak and the Heat struggled even in an era like that. Who gave them that extra level of size that they lacked? LeBron. Who was that help defender? LeBron. And on top of that, I feel like a lot of people forget that LeBron was not just a great defender in Miami. In Cleveland, in his first stint, he finished, I believe, top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year in 2009 and 2010. I believe losing to Dwight Howard. And rightfully so. Dwight was a better defender. He's the best rim protector in the league and defender in the league. But LeBron in those years was also an amazing help defender. Same thing, filled a lot of those needs when they had minutes with Shaq or Big Z. LeBron was the help side secondary rim protector, weak side shot blocker. And on the ball, that was when LeBron was at his peak. When he did go out there and guard Paul Pierce in a playoff series and held him to 19 points per game on 40% shooting from the field. He went out there and had to guard the Vince Carters. Went out there and had to guard the Dwayne Wades. So I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know why Tony is doing. Actually, I know why. Like I said, he's mad because Tony was lower on the list than LeBron. That's all it is. And then, I mean, if you want to get into the whole narrative thing, I mean, he has probably the most iconic block in NBA history. Whether it's a chase down or not, it doesn't really matter. I don't know why people are trying to like downplay that shit. It's weird. But let's move on to the next topic. So I seen this post. This is the last thing we'll talk about right before actually, I'm sorry. Let's actually go back. Let's go back because Tony said some other shit that I wanted to pull up. Man, Tony just be getting cooked. They cooking him online right now. Tony said, and I quote, or not, and I quote, here's the video right here.
But just think about it. Any team you put LeBron on, we can make any scenario. When they play, let's just say OKC. Do you think LeBron starting out the game on KD to risk picking up 2 fouls? No, he's going to stick Cephalosha. So you got 41 minutes of sticking Cephalosha. Game get tight late down the stretch in the last 2-3 minutes. You get a chase down block here and there. Then Now you get the win. Now you just our first team all defense. I disagree.
Because Tia,
I
they
disagree.
keep bringing up.
The wild thing is, LeBron wasn't the only one that's ever done that method, because I think Kobe Bryant did that a good chunk of his career, especially after like 04, 05, 06, when he started having more offensive responsibility. That's usually just how it goes. You're not going to guard Kevin Durant a whole 48 minutes. That's not how that works. And on top of that, LeBron was the only one that really guarded KD on those Miami Heat teams. It wasn't Shane Battier consistently. Like in those moments and throughout the course of the game, LeBron was the one, he was the primary defender. And on top of that, I feel like Tony, when he says this stuff, when Tony says stuff like that, he makes it seem like the only way you can play great defense is when you're guarding on the ball. No. You can be a weak side shot blocker. You could be a secondary rim protector. You could be a great help defender. You could be great with switches, great with rotations, defending the pick and roll. LeBron did all of those things exceptionally well. Just as good, if not better, than almost every other wing in the league. Other than like Kawhi. But even then, Kawhi in those earlier years, I think 2013, 2014, he wasn't the defender that he would later become. So I don't know what Tony's talking about here, man. Tony's just saying a bunch of bullshit to me. And then on top of that, people started pulling up the tape, because the tape don't lie. The tape don't lie, y'all. Here go the tape right here. And y'all can see the score. This is third quarter. This ain't even the fourth quarter.
4 to shoot.
I know that's LeBron guarding KD, right? I know this is the first quarter, right? I know that's the first quarter. And I know that's LeBron guarding KD, right? That ain't Dwayne Wade. That ain't Shane Battier. That's LeBron. But let's keep going. I know that's the first quarter again, right? Dang. KD missed while LeBron was guarding him, and it's the first quarter, and look at the score. 22-4? Interesting. I know that's the second quarter, right? That's the second quarter, and that's LeBron guarding KD. Okay. Interesting. Damn, that's the third quarter. That ain't just the fourth quarter. And LeBron's guarding Kevin Durant. Wow. Look at him, forcing him to pick up his dribble and pass. Guys, I think that's LeBron. This is LeBron blocking KD. This is the second quarter of the game in the finals. Come on, man. I could have swore he just waited till the fourth quarter to guard KD. Guys, this is like 5-6 straight possessions of something just disproving what Tony Allen's saying. Can't see the quarter on this one, but LeBron plays a great defensive possession on KD. Third quarter. You know, we ain't seen one clip that shows the fourth quarter. We ain't seen one. LeBron guarding him again. Rips that nigga. So what are we talking about here, Tony? And I made a post about it. I responded to it. And I said it. Every single thing that LeBron haters say he can't do, we got 4K proof of him doing it. LeBron not clutch. You can go look up all his clutch shots right now. What are we talking about? LeBron got no bag. You can go look up his post moves. You can go look up his bag right now as we speak. LeBron can't guard nobody. You can go look up him guarding Dwayne Wade. You can go look up him guarding Derrick Rose. You can go look up him guarding Paul Pierce. You can go look up him guarding Kevin Durant, Paul George, Tony Parker. Everything LeBron haters say he's never done or can't do, he's done it all. And we got 4K evidence because he's been playing for 20 plus years and he's been playing a lot of his career in the social media era. Unlike motherfuckers like Michael Jordan, who could actually take 3 quarters off and not guard anybody, just play the gaps and shit. And even then, illegal defense, all of that. Who actually did do what y'all saying LeBron did, Tony Allen? LeBron was actually guarding niggas. I think that applies more to like LeBron's later part of his career when he was in Cleveland the second time. That was really when he started taking plays off, not guarding people until he really needed to. So that's crazy to me that he would say that. That's wild to me. But for those who made it to the ending of the stream, it's not over. The stream is not dead yet because we got it to, excuse me, like I said earlier in the stream, we're going to rank the best point guards in the NBA, y'all. That's what we're going to do. We're going to rank the best point guards in the league. I'm going to upload this clip probably to my main channel. And we'll go from there. Here it is. Okay. So we got a tier system where we're going to rank pretty much every point guard in the NBA. We are going to rank all of them. I'm trying to move this out the way so you guys can see. There you go. So we're going to rank all these guards in the league. And we'll go from there. That'll be the ending of the stream. But here it is right here. So let's change up some of these tiers. I'm not going to do MVP caliber, quality starter. Do y'all think I should leave this tier, or do y'all think I should do top 5, top 3, top 10, top 15, top 20, and go from there? What y'all think I should do? Injured, I'm going to keep it like this. We're going to leave injured the way it is because there are some niggas that are injured. So we're going to do that. How do I add some more motherfuckers to it? Oh, I can add images. Okay. Give me a second. But y'all in the comments, let me know what y'all think what I should do. Y'all think I should leave it in those rankings, or do y'all think I should make it top 5? Like, do y'all want to see it to be like a top 5 thing, or the rankings that were already there? Top 5, 10, 20, 15, all that, so on and so forth. While you guys let me know, I'm going to add some more faces to this. Guys, let me know down there. There we go. I don't know. I don't think there's any other guards that are missing, right? Is James Harden here? Yeah, James Harden's here. Make sure I'm not missing any guards. We should be good. Kyrie's there. Ja's there, unfortunately. Is Dame there? I would put Dame probably in the injured category anyway, but let's just get him there before somebody complains online and acts like I don't care about Dame and thinks I'm a hater. I'm seeing people say top 5, top 10, all of that. So, okay, we'll do top 10. Or not top 10, but like top 5, 10, 15. We'll bracket up in terms of like 5s and 3s or whatever. That's what we'll do. Give me a second. I'm still adding some guards on here. Brunson's there. Got Cade, got Reed, got Luka. Austin Reeves, would y'all consider him a point guard? Y'all think I should put Austin Reeves here? But Luka's already here, so there's no point, actually. I don't want to put 2 players on the same team. I know Ja's here, but I don't know what's going on with this Ja and Dame dynamic. So we both know they're both point guards. Neither of them are 2 guards, but whatever. Jeremiah Fears, I think he's already here. Yeah, he is. Someone said LeBron is the GOAT of turning the ball over. Okay. That's supposed to move me. But yeah, all right. Let's start this list, y'all. Let's start this list. Move this over here. So let's create the tiers. This one will be top 3. The top 3 point guards. Top 5. And actually, in parentheses, let's put 4 to 5.
Shopping for your next car?
Oh, fuck. This is an ad.
What about a sunroof?
Get that shit out of here. The fuck? Top 3. Let's do top 5. Or excuse me, top 10. 6 to 10. Top half. Let's do 11 to 15. Let's do below average. 16 to 20. Oh no, I won't put below average. Let's do decent. And then we'll put role player. That's 21 to 30. What the hell? Why is this shit tweaked out like that? Let's get this out of here. Well, we can change like the amount of guards in each one if there's more than I think it should be. But top 3, 5, 10, top half, that's staying the way it is. So let's start off with the obvious top 3, right? Luka. This is not in order. SGA. Oof. There should be an obvious one I'm forgetting. Where's Steph Curry? Where is Steph Curry? Do they not have Steph Curry here? That's why. Okay, there he is. Ooh. So I actually made a video on my channel the other day. My last video on my main channel. I uploaded it was like a clip from the stream about Steph Curry. And I said that I think Steph Curry is the 3rd best guard in the league when healthy. But then I started really thinking, right? Obviously, I said I'd take him over Brunson when he's healthy. But do y'all think that Steph is better than Cade? Like, who do you think is better between Steph, Cade, and Brunson? I'm still going to take Steph. I'm still going to put Steph there. But I want to ask you guys, because here's my thing with Steph over Cade, right? Cade as an offensive player does have a lot of holes that people need to be honest about, right? He's not like an athletic guard as far as like really beating guys off the dribble. He's not like super fast and, you know, as far as like a first step is concerned. And sure, Steph doesn't have that, but Cade's not the shooter that Steph is. He's not the offensive player that Steph Curry is. He's not even close. And that's the thing with Cade. He can't really carry the offensive load that I think a guy like Steph can.
Shopping for your next car?
Oh my God, I gotta turn these ads off. And sure, I think Steph is not as good of a defender, or maybe not even as good of a passer if you think that. But at the end of the day, Cade, he can't really, I think.
Shopping for your next car?
Oh my God, these ads. I'm so sick of this shit. Okay, I have to turn that shit off. I don't think that Cade can uplift an offense to the level that Steph Curry can. And I think that's more valuable than what Cade does for Detroit. I think if you were to swap Cade and Steph, I think Steph
Shopping
would make
for your
the
next
Pistons
car?
a better team.
What about third row
I think
seats?
he'd utilize someone like Jalen Duren a lot better. Even though I think Cade's still doing a good job. And it's tough for Cade because Cade just doesn't have and I think that Steph, even without that offense, the offense is better than Cade could at But that makes the last two
With
for the
millions
top
of
5
cars
obvious.
nationwide,
Cade
Auto
Cunningham,
Navigator makes it easy
and
to
Jalen
find the
Brunson.
perfect one for you, whatever that
Now
may
6
be.
through 10. This is
Shopping
where
for
it
your
gets a
next
little
car?
interesting.
What about third row
Tyrese
seats?
Maxey, I think, belongs there.
With millions of cars nationwide,
Tyrese
Auto
Halliburton
Navigator makes it easy to find the
belongs
perfect
there.
one for you, whatever that may be. Shopping for your next car? What about a
Why
sunroof?
is Devin Booker? It's not even a real point guard. I mean, he's 2. I guess it's a point.
With millions of cars nationwide, Auto Navigator
Oh,
makes it easy to
Kyrie
find the
is
perfect
hurt.
one
I'm
for
gonna
you,
put
whatever that
Kyrie
may
and
be.
injured. And I'm going to put, well, who else is
Shopping
injured?
for your next car?
I'm going to put Dame.
What about
Where's
third row
Dame?
seats?
Damian Lillard's injured.
With
Those three
millions
are
of cars
injured, so I'm
nationwide,
buying them right
Auto
there.
Navigator makes it easy to find the perfect one for
6
you,
through 10.
whatever
Let's
that
throw
may be.
Devin Booker in there as well. Devin Booker, I think he could be 6 through 10. Only thing about D-Book, he's just playing so much out of position. I don't look at him as a real point guard, but he's been playing point guard fine. James Harden. Who's going to get that 10th spot? Y'all think Trey qualifies as injured, or should he be in that 10th spot? Because I feel like Trey, he suffered some injuries and he's not the same level of player. Like his scoring has just taken such a dramatic drop off. A dramatic drop off to the point where I don't know. He wouldn't be that high anyway. But we're cooler than you think.
Still chasing our dreams. With millions of cars nationwide, Auto Navigator makes it easy to find the perfect one for you.
Lord. There you go. I should be off. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's the last thing y'all heard me say. So let's go over who we have so far, right? We got Shea, Luka, and Steph. I decided to go with them because I feel like offensively they lift their teams to heights that I don't think that Cade Cunningham can do. Or even like with Jalen Brunson, I think Jalen Brunson's real appeal is what he does in the fourth quarters of games, right? Like he's the most clutch player in the league, but he's not going to be the offensive ceiling raiser that someone like Steph Curry is, Luka, or SGA. He's not the defender that someone like SGA is. And on top of that, same thing kind of applies to Cade as an offensive player. And then when you throw in the fact that Steph's hurt a lot, I think that's an argument against him, and it's a valid argument you could use. But I just feel like at his best, I can't really put him, I can't put Jalen Brunson below or above Steph. But I don't know. I'm starting to really think, right? Availability. How many games has Steph really been missing over the last couple of years? Let's look that up. Steph over the last couple of years, 43 games this past season. But before that, 74, 70, and then before that, 56, 64. So he's been playing a good amount of games. What's Brunson's been looking like? But it's just like over the last year, Steph was hurt a lot and missed a lot of games. Brunson played 74. So I'm really comparing 74 plus the playoff run to Steph's 43. Oh, that's a tough one. I'll give Brunson the edge for now. All right. I'll give Brunson the edge. I think him playing a significantly more amount of games and having the playoff run that he had, winning the championship, playing great, finals MVP. I'll give Brunson the edge, but I'll say when they are both healthy at their best, give me Steph Curry over Jalen Brunson. And then I'll go Cade at 5th. I just think as an offensive player, like he really pales in comparison to all the other guards in the top 5. And defensively, he just doesn't move the needle enough, I think, to really say he's better. And then the rest of the top 10, we got Tyrese. This is in order, by the way, but we got Tyrese Halliburton, who actually he's injured. Ooh, y'all so lucky. I just caught that. Oh, we're going to have to drop Hallie. He's injured. The rules don't change for who we like. And I love Hallie, but he's hurt. Oh, he's lucky. Y'all niggas lucky. Somebody going to get in this top 10 that don't deserve it. Oh, somebody going to get in here that don't deserve to be up here. But it's cool. It's cool. Because the rest of these names, after you get past Maxey, D-Book, Harden, because these three, I mean, I think those are the given for the next 3 spots, right? Tyrese Maxey, good 3-point shooter, improved as a jump shooter, gets to the rim at an efficient level and a high rate. performed at a great level in the playoffs in the first round against the Celtics. Second round, not so much, not great. But he's not a number one option. We know he's a number two kind of guy. And a good co-star to Joel Embiid. And all the guys above him are number one options and have been number one options for a good chunk of their career and or have led their teams to great success as a number one option. Cade, 60-plus win team. Steph Curry, self-explanatory. Jalen Brunson, Luka, Shea, self-explanatory. D-Book, not a first option. We know that. He doesn't have the playmaking chops that pretty much all the guys in the top 5 or higher can do. And honestly, he's just not a point guard. Like he's just not. And I think the way he played in that first round was kind of rough. It was kind of rough, but still probably like a better scorer than even Cade. You could argue he's a better scorer than Cade. But the playmaking gap and defense, got to give that to Cade. Same thing applies to Tyrese Maxey. James Harden, I mean, great playmaker, good vision, but doesn't get to the rim as much, isn't as efficient inside the 3-point line. And, you know, the playoffs, come on, that's self-explanatory. Now, the last 2 spots on the list. Kills, you want my food? You got my food? Kels, I thought you was spraying stuff. Okay, you can bring it. You can bring it. What do you? She's always tripping, bro. I swear. It's crazy. The next 2 spots. Oof. We got Trae Young, Darius Garland. Oh my God. LaMelo. De'Aaron Fox, Jamal Murray. Oh, this next couple spots gonna be nasty.
Here.
What you acting upset about?
Because you act like you got an attitude. You know I just came from Chick-fil-A. Like,
okay, thank you.
Staying here? And you act like you got an attitude to listen to me, and I brought you.
Okay, what you? Okay, she's doing the most, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's always doing the most, but I'm gonna eat that shit in a second because we almost done. Oof. I ain't gonna lie. These next 2 spots. Someone said, is Trae healthy? How many games did Trae play last year? I don't even think he played 25 games last season. 15 games. Oof. I guess by definition, Trae is going to be in the injured spot, right? Oh. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all think we should get rid of the injured spot? Because I refuse to put some of these names higher than where they are. I just refuse. I think for certain guys that suffer like altering injuries like Dame, Kyrie, damn, but that's still like 4 guys. Because Hallie suffered torn Achilles. Kyrie suffered torn ACL. Dame suffered torn Achilles. Van Vliet, what was it, torn ACL or Achilles, one of the 2. Ja and Trae, I don't think they suffered major injuries as far as like career altering kind of things. It's just like stuff that's been built up. So because of that, I'll put Trae up in top 10 and I'll put it's Trae, LaMelo, and Garland. Who do y'all think between those 3 deserves to be the last 2 spots between Trae, LaMelo, and Garland? That's a tough one. I'm going to go Garland and it's Trae and LaMelo right now. Jamal Murray's here too. Jamal had a really good regular season, to be fair. Excuse me. Jamal had a really good regular season. And he was healthy for a good chunk of the year. 3rd team All-NBA. Playoffs was just so fucking rough. My God. Them Nuggets, man, against the fucking Timberwolves with no Ant. Like, they just fucking sold so fucking bad. Jamal, 36% from the field, 26% from 3. Yikes, bro. Fucking yikes. I'll still probably throw Jamal. There's between LaMelo, Darius Garland, and Trey. I'll go Darius Garland. I'll give Darius the 5th spot. So these last two, I think, are the interchangeable ones. And then like the top half, we got to go, obviously, to start things off. Actually, before we get to that. So far, top 3, we got Shea, Luka, Brunson. Top 5 in the 4 to 5 spot, we got Steph, Cade. In the 6 to 10 range, we got Tyrese Maxey, Devin Booker, James Harden, Jamal Murray, Darius Garland. Dang, it's looking rough. Let's keep going. I think Trey and LaMelo are easy 11, 12 spots. After that, that's where it gets a little complicated, right? Let's go. I ain't gonna lie. Ja is rough, but I'll still give Ja benefit of the doubt. I do think Ja, when he gets back, will be better. I'm gonna put LaMelo here. It's not in order, but I'm gonna put him there. Oof, shit's about to get rough. Let's go. Is De'Aaron Fox better than Josh Giddey? Yeah, I'll say he's better than Josh Giddey. Let's put De'Aaron Fox. And let's put... Shit, it's just looking rough right now. Let's put IQ. Let's put Emmanuel quickly. The decent range... Fuck it, I'm going to throw my boy Josh up in there. Let's throw... Keontae. I'll throw Keontae in there. This is tough. I ain't gonna lie. Let's throw CJ in. Well, let's throw CJ in there. And let's put Drew. And there's one more spot. Let's put Dante's injured actually, so he's gonna go in the injured spot. I just remembered that. The final spot. I'm thinking about Russ. But Russ is a role player. Like, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, he is a role player. I'm trying to think of like starters. Y'all think Russ is better than Ryan Rollins? I ain't gonna hold you, no. I just took one look at that nigga numbers and I knew. And then role player, let's throw all these niggas up in there. I ain't gonna lie, Cam Thomas not even a role player, fam. Okay, so here's the overall list of the point guards in the league, the best point guards. We got SGA, Luka, Jalen Brunson in the top 3, right? Top 5 to fill out the rest of it, Steph Curry, Cade Cunningham. The rest of the top 10, Tyrese Maxey, Devin Booker, James Harden, Jamal Murray, Darius Garland. Top half, which is 11 to 15 to fill out the rest of that spot, LaMelo, Trae Young, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, Emmanuel Quickley. The decent range, like, you a starter, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you're like a decent point guard. You're giving quality minutes, filling out a need kind of thing. Keontae George, Josh Giddey, CJ McCollum, Drew Holiday, Ryan Rollins. And then the role player spot. Like, you really kind of masquerading as a starter. You're really not a starting caliber guard in the league. But, you know, we're giving you minutes at this spot for whatever reason. or you actually are coming off the bench. You got Peyton Pritchard, Russell Westbrook, Jalen Suggs, Jeremiah Fears, Davion Mitchell, Reed Shepherd, Cam Thomas. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really like Cam Thomas being in the same tier as some of these other guards, but I'm not gonna do Cam Thomas so dirty and make another tier and just call it Cam Thomas. That's a little crazy. And then the injured Tyrese Halliburton, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, Fred VanVleet, Dante. So there you go. These are the top guards in the NBA. I don't think I missed anybody. I know LeBron is going to be playing some point guard for the Sixers, so maybe we'll update this later in the season. But yeah, these are your top guards. And it's tough because a lot of these guys are hurt right now, but there you go. But that wraps up this stream. I appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out. We had a good amount of people up in here at one point, and I appreciate you guys. I love all the support you guys show. Y'all stay safe. Have a blessed day. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment. I'm out. Your boy, OMO Speaks, episode 3.